हेलो फ्रेंड्स, ये श्रेष्ठ सुरैया और आज मैं नई वीडियो में आया हूँ इन विच आई एम गोइंग टू डिस्कस द सॉल्यूशंस फॉर IOQJS पार्ट 1 2022 that happened on 6th March. So we are going to begin with biology. The link to the question paper PDF to the official paper is given in the description to this video. तो आप उसको खोल करके आप देख सकते हैं and you can solve it with me so that we are on the same page. So let's start with the first question. So first we have biology, and then in the next video we will cover chemistry, and then in the next video we will cover physics. So in biology the first question was, so basically there are two parts in this paper. That's part part A1, that is part A, that is basically single correct questions. That is, the question has only one correct answer out of the four options, and there are three multiple correct questions as well, in which there can be multiple correct options from the given four options. So let's start. So the first question is, which of the following is not a function of mature RBCs? Help in classifying blood in different blood groups, help in transport of gases, synthesis of immunoglobulins, help in maintaining acid base balance in the body. तो देखिए, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हर RBC के surface पे there is an antigen, and that antigen corresponds to the blood group. For example, the A blood group will have A antigen, and so on. B will have B, and so on, right? So it does help in classifying the blood groups. So A is correct, but you have to find the incorrect. So A is eliminated. Second, help in transport of gases. Yes, it obviously helps. Like RBCs have hemoglobin, and hemoglobin helps in transporting oxygen and carbon dioxide throughout the body. So it does help in transport of gases, that is oxygen and carbon dioxide. So that is also correct. So that is eliminated. Okay. Synthesis of immunoglobulins. So immunoglobulins are basically, they help in our they build up our immune system. So they are related with the immune system. So they are not related with RBCs, they are related with WBCs. So therefore C is wrong. So you have to take C. Right, now let's check D as well. So help in maintaining acid base balance of the body. So they do maintain the acid base balance of the body. They do it, by they have it's called a buffer. So a buffer is mixture of a few electrolytes that don't change their pH upon the addition of, in small quantities, an acid or a base, right? तो उसमें क्या होता है, यहाँ पर H2CO3 जो एसिड है, कार्बोनिक एसिड, it decomposes to HCO3 minus and H plus, right? So this is the buffer of H2CO3 and HCO3 minus that maintains the acid base balance of the body and maintains the pH of the blood, right? So the answer to the first question is C. Next question. In which of the following classes of vertebrates there are groups of animals without limbs? Option A, fish, reptiles and mammals. Option B, reptiles only. Option C, reptiles and amphibians. And option D, amphibians only. So as we know, fish, mammals, all the organisms in all the organisms and mammals have limbs. So you can directly eliminate option A. And seeing for reptiles and amphibians, reptiles like snakes are they don't have any limbs, and there are some worm like, they look like worms. There are some amphibians that are found in northeast India or somewhere, and they are called ichthyophis. Ichthyophis is amphibian which does not have limbs. So reptile and amphibians both have groups of animals that don't have limbs. So answer will be C. Right. So next question, third question. Which of the following groups have only one pair of wings? Honeybee, beetle, ant, butterfly, housefly, fruit fly, dragonfly, butterfly, fruit fly, housefly, fruit fly, mosquito. So you can directly eliminate option B and C, because as we know, butterfly has two pairs of wings and not one. So basically 2 pairs of wings means 4 wings. So 1 pair of wings means 2 wings. So we don't get confused on that. So basically we have to see the group which has 2 wings. Now housefly has 2 functional wings, if you might have studied a bit of genetics, Then you might know about fruit fly. It's also called Drosophila melanogaster. So it has two wings, that is one pair of wings. And even mosquitoes have one pair of wings, that is two wings. So option D will be correct for this question. Right. Next question. That is question number 4. During an expedition to planet Imagitica, scientists analyzed the genetic material of the organisms found there and noted the following features. Amount of purines and pyrimides is unequal. Absence of thymine. Unstable genetic material with high frequency of mutation. Rapid degradation at pH above 12. From the above data, what genetic material might the Imagitica inhabitants contain? Single-stranded, that is ssDNA, that is single-stranded DNA, double-stranded DNA, single-stranded RNA, double-stranded RNA. So, first of all, we are given that the amount of purines and pyrimidines are unequal. See, we know that from Chargaff's rule, a double-stranded genetic material will have equal number of purines and pyrimidines. So since they are unequal, we clearly know that it's not double-stranded, so it is single-stranded. Right? Now we have to check for DNA and RNA. So DNA में क्या होता है? DNA has thymine, but RNA does not have thymine. Instead of that, it has uracil. So thymine is not there. That means it's RNA. You can also check from the third property, that the third feature, that it's unstable. So RNA is unstable than DNA, and RNA also has a high frequency of mutation. So you can clearly see that the answer will be single-stranded RNA. That is option C. Okay, next question. Which of the following is most likely to show erenchyma? Leaf base of mango, petiole of water hyacinth, setae of moss, stem of opuntia. So this is a very straightforward question. We know erenchyma is a modification of parenchyma that provides buoyancy to aquatic plants, right? So since water hyacinth is an aquatic plant, its petiole will have erenchyma that will provide it buoyancy because it has air filled in. That's why the name erenchyma, right? Okay, so the correct option to the question the correct answer will be B. That is petiole of water hyacinth. Okay, next question. Given below are three statements about bryophytes. Bryophytes are lower plants with a plant body differentiated into roots, stem and leaves. That's statement 1. Statement 2 is bryophytes are devoid of xylem and phloem. And third is bryophytes require water for completion of their life cycle. And then we are asked that which of these are true statement. So option A is 2 only, option B is 1 and 2, option C is 1 and 3, and option D is 2 and 3. So bryophytes are basically they don't have they are also called amphibians of plant kingdoms, right? So bryophytes don't have any proper differentiation into root, stem and leaves, but they have root-like structures though, which are called rhizoids, but they don't have a proper clear-cut differentiation. So the first statement is wrong, right? The second statement is that they are devoid. Devoid means they don't have xylem and phloem, which is the vasculature, which is correct because the plant kingdom is divided into five divisions, or phylum. Phylum is used for animals, so divisions, that is thallophytes, bryophytes, pteridophytes, gymnosperms and angiosperms, right? But vasculature starts from pteridophytes. So pteridophytes onwards, the plants have vasculature. So thallophytes and bryophytes don't have vasculature, that is xylem and phloem. So the second option will be statement will be correct. The third statement is that bryophytes require water for the completion of their life cycle. See, bryophytes are also known as amphibians of plant kingdom. That is, they require land as well as water, because they are not completely dependent of water. So they require some amount of water for their reproduction, which is a part of their life cycle. So therefore they require water to complete their life cycle. So 2 and 3 both will be correct, right? So option D will be correct for this question. Okay, next question. Carbon fixation in most of the succulent plants takes place through which pathway? Option A, Calvin cycle. Option B, glycolate pathway. Option C, crustacean acid metabolism pathway. And option D, Hatch-Slack pathway. So as we know, in most of the plants, what happens is that after light dependent reaction, we have the light independent reaction, also known as a dark reaction, but doesn't necessarily takes place in the dark, and it is also known as C3 cycle or Calvin cycle. But in succulent what happens is that these plants are basically water retaining. So if they're water retaining, you can think that they will mostly be desert plants or xerophytes, right? Because if they're retaining water, that means that they are short of water. So they will be xerophytes like cactus and other thorny plants. So they don't open their stomata in the day, because if they open, then they will lose water in the form of transpiration, because transpirational loss of water is very high, right? It's like around 95%. So that is why they open their leaves at night, and they don't use the normal C3 cycle. They use the crustacean acid metabolism pathway, which is the CAM pathway, right? So they do. And now one more thing is that the Hatch and Slack pathway is also known as the C4 cycle, and the C4 cycle is followed by terrestrial plants. Terrestrial plants, those are the tropical plants. Sorry, so tropical plants like maize and all have follow the C4 cycle and not the C3 cycle, because they have Kranz anatomy, right? So you don't need to get confused by that. So the answer will be C. Okay, next question. If a flower is large, wide-mouthed, white, showing anthesis after sunset, and emitting fruity or musky fragrance, it is most likely to be pollinated by birds, bats, insects, and baboons. So this question is kind of out of the box. So you need to think a bit out of the box. So what you need to think is that bats, see, it's white. That means that it's not attractive, because attractive are colorful, right? But it's white, so it's not attractive. So the pollinator will not have the power of sight, power of seeing. They'll be blind. That means that you can hint that bats are blind, right? They can't see. They use echo to locate. Echolocation is called. So they can't see. So that is why you can hint by bats. You can also hint that, see, there is a hint that anthesis after sunset. So bats are mostly they are active. They are kind of nocturnal animals, so they are active after sunset. So you can also hint from that that the answer will be bats, right? So answer will be that will be B, which is bats. Okay, next question. Next question is actually from the multiple correct. So the next question is question number 25. So you can in the PDF provided in the description, according to that, it's question number 25. That is in paper code 51. Okay. So the question is, given below are 4 statements about viruses. Which of the following statements are incorrect? All known viruses contain RNA as the genetic material. During viral multiplication, a complementary DNA is produced in riboviruses. Viruses are the smallest freely living cells found on the planet. DNA containing viruses are more susceptible to mutations when compared to RNA containing viruses, and hence show very rapid evolution. Okay, so first of all viruses do not contain RNA, because some viruses also contain DNA as the genetic material, right? So option A is incorrect. So you have to tick that, right? Because they are asked for incorrect. Okay. Next option is, during viral multiplication, a complementary DNA is produced in riboviruses. That is correct. So you won't take that, right? Viruses are the smallest freely living cells found on the planet. No, they are not freely living. They require a host. So this statement is incorrect. So you have to take that as well. Okay. And the next is virus. DNA containing viruses are more susceptible to mutations when compared to RNA containing viruses, and hence show very rapid evolution. No, it's the opposite. RNA containing viruses are more susceptible to mutations rather than DNA containing viruses, right? And Now let's move. So the answer to this question will be A, C, and D. Now let's move to the next question. During a race, Ramesh was thrown off the horseback and suffered an injury in the front part of the head. Upon thorough examination, Ramesh was found to have injury to the front part of the head. Which of the following can be the possible outcomes of this injury? Trouble in speaking properly, inability to smell, inability to walk on a narrow path, inability to maintain blood pressure. So this question is kind of controversial because in the official answer key they had given the answer A, B, and C. But see, since the injury is in the front part of the head, that means it's in the cerebrum, and the cerebrum controls the voluntary actions, right? Like thinking, memory, and all other voluntary actions. So we trouble in speaking properly. Speaking is a voluntary action. So since his cerebrum is hurt, he will have trouble in speaking properly. So A, you have to take. Inability to smell, since smelling is also an involuntary action. Is a voluntary action. So he will have trouble in that as well. But he won't have trouble in walking. He won't be able to. It won't be that he won't be able to walk in a narrow path. That is, he will be able to walk on a narrow path because his cerebellum is not affected, and body balance is maintained by cerebellum. So that is why, according to me, the answer should be A and B. However, in the IAPT official answer key, they are given the answers A, B, and C. So I had sent a in the grievance column, but they haven't acknowledged it yet. So let's wait for that, and I will notify you once they acknowledge the grievance or they make some changes. Okay, so next question: which of the following molecules are primarily responsible for structural support and motility? So options are actin, tubulin alpha, lamins, and desmin. So the answer will be actin and tubulin alpha. This is kind of a memory based question. So answer will be actin and tubulin alpha. Okay, so in this way we have completed the biology part of the paper, and I hope you enjoyed this video and understood all the questions, and I was able to make them understand. Do like and share this video and subscribe to our channel. Thank you.